Hi, it's Tony Marino, host of the super popular Newsmax Daily Podcast, a rundown of the day's top headlines and top highlights of Newsmax shows and interviews you may have missed, plus some sports, stock markets, and even some yucks, all packed into about 20 minutes. Search for the Newsmax Daily with me, Tony Marino, on your favorite podcast platform, and check out our entire lineup of great podcasts, including Greg Kelly, Rob Carson, and Jerry Callahan at newsmax.com/listen.
Now. You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
I've been on the ground less than 3 full days. I got in here Monday. President of the United States called me Monday morning and asked me to deploy here.
Awesome.
Got here Monday evening.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm staying till the problem's gone.
Come on, baby. Woo-hoo-hoo.
Good morning. I'm Tom Holman, the Board Czar for President Trump.
Yes, you are.
I'm here on behalf of the President, along with U.S. Commissioner of U.S. Customs and Border Protection, Rodney Scott, and Michael Charbon, who's leading the enforcement effort here right now. I've been on the ground since to regain law and order in the city beloved by many.
Yeah.
And work together to remove threats from the community.
That's what we're going to do.
During the past administration, we'll all remember, more than 10 million illegal aliens entered this nation.
Oh, my God.
Many were national security threats, public safety threats.
He said illegal aliens.
We can't remember over 2 million.
I know.
2 million known gotaways.
Yep.
2 million people who paid more to get away.
Yeah.
Why? That should scare the hell out of everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. But now we got Mr. Holman in charge. Thank you very much. It's Thursday, kids. Welcome to the Rob Carson Show. Here's Jim Gossett.
Trump's new border czar will clean up the mess. The mess Kamala, she did not address. Open borders, he will abort. And illegals, he will deport. Thomas Holman, he will say no, mayor. You must go, Mayor. Mexico, Mayor. You're headed back. Thomas Holman, he's a former cop. Border jumpers, Tom is gonna stop. Used to be in charge of ICE.
Come on.
2 illegals, Tom will not be nice.
No.
Thomas Holman. They ought to know, man. He's not a showman. Thomas Holman will kick you out.
You better start packing now.
Thomas Holman. He is your foe.
There you go. That is Jim Gossett. Of course, I did the Dan Aykroyd Blues Brother, the bass part there. That's what I kind of do. That's what I want to do. Thank you very much. Welcome to the show. It's T-minus 1 day till Friday, kids. And man, we got a hell of a show lined up for you today. We got guests on the show. We got new comedy. We got good news coming out because you know what? Here's the deal. Once again, I'm right. The Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. Donald Trump did a brilliant move in Minneapolis. I knew it the night that it happened when he said, you know what, we're going to pull out ICE, we're going to send Tom Holman in. I went, huh? What? I wanted the Insurrection Act. I wanted those hippies to get the snot beat out of them. I really wanted the hippies to get the snot beat out of them. I really did. I think you did too. But it turns out what he did was pretty amazing, and even Glenn Beck is commenting. I'm going to share that in a second because Glenn is echoing what I said earlier in this week. It was a brilliant tactical move by Donald Trump that nobody expected it. And, everybody thinks that Donald Trump has a hair trigger. And Donald Trump is, not deliberate and all that. He is more deliberate than I think Reagan. Honestly, you're thinking, oh, he's a playboy, he's crazy, he's this, he's that. Really? Surgically removing Maduro without having to, blow up any buildings or anything. Go in its surgical strike with regard to Iran and the nuclear facilities, creating peace all over the country. Very deliberate. Very deliberate. Right now, he's got an armada in the Persian Gulf ready to take out the Ayatollah. There's that going there. He's not just going in like George W. Bush and sending in troops and having a 20-year war where thousands and thousands of our soldiers are either returned home in boxes or tragically injured for life, mentally or physically. It's just kind of crazy, isn't it? It's kind of crazy. And the Democrat Party, you keep doubling down on stupid. You're still doubling down on the same crap that you got your ass kicked in November. And I love it. I love it. And I think the reason being is Democrats haven't had to win an election on ideas in a very long time. Do you know why? Because they steal and rig elections. There you go. They're not in touch at all with mainstream America. They have no clue. Yesterday, Donald Trump destroyed the biggest pyramid scheme in the history of America. He essentially changed it. We've been begging for the change for decades. Donald Trump effectively neutered the greatest pyramid scheme in American history. What is it? Social Security. Social Security is a pyramid scheme. You pay into it, and as you pay into it, that money gets sent out to other people, and then you're supposed to rely on it when you get old, and there's nothing there. There's nothing there. There's nothing in your account. Your account is a number on paper. There's no money there. The money won't be there until your children are paying into Social Security for your retirement. It's a pyramid scheme. And for the first time in 50, 60 years, Donald Trump's doing something about it with these brilliant savings accounts for your kids. Oh, my God. Again, I know that you Democrats, you loved President Pudding for Brains, who spent 40% of his time on vacation and wrecked the country. But we've got a president here who is ushering in revolutionary change like we never could have dreamed of. You Social Security recipients, guess what? You just got the largest Social Security income increase in the history of Social Security when he got rid of the income tax on it. Normally you get, I got $3 a month this year. Thanks, government. Are you out of your friggin' minds? How about keeping the money you've already been taxed on and not being taxed on the money you've spent your whole damn life paying taxes on? How about that? Oh, my God. But Democrats are like, we're going to defund ICE and we're going to defund and we're going to impeach Donald Trump at the 25th Amendment. Keep doing that, please. Please keep doing the crazy because you have no chance of the midterm elections. Don't tell them. Shh. They have no chance in the midterm elections because they're wrong about everything. Here's Tom Holman yesterday, by the way. He did it, this morning. It was this morning. He had a hell of a press conference. Voice never raised up. Even Steven, cool as a cucumber, getting everything done.
I also want to remember the politicians are continually attacking us. Where were they the last 4 years?
Yeah, where's that?
When the number of women and children sex trafficking went all-time high.
Didn't care.
Where were they when 250,000 Americans died from fentanyl coming across the border?
Didn't care.
Where were they when women and children are dying making that journey?
Did not care.
Where were they where over 4,000 families making that journey died, historic record?
Oh, yeah.
Where were they?
Along the Darien Gap, the buzzards got fat. I'm not kidding. Got fat from the corpses of people making the trek.
Not a word.
Yeah.
Now we're just trying to respond to what happened the last 4 years and keeping this country safe.
Yep.
And we're arresting a lot of public safety threats, take them off the streets, which make this country safer. President Trump promised to make this country safer.
He is, yeah.
And that's what we're doing.
Yeah, too bad, so sad for you Democrats. My God, you people suck. I mean, really super duper suck, honestly. Glenn Beck, remember earlier this week, and many people I received, it wasn't really consternation. It was like, really? Really? I wanted to see the hippies get their butts kicked in Minneapolis. I wanted that Insurrection Act. And I said, no, and I think something else is going on here. I think it could be a brilliant move because I think Donald Trump defused the rage machine. And now the Democrats and the leftist libtards in Minnesota, the radicals, they don't even know what to protest. It's just ICE. They're just throwing it out there. Oh, we hate ICE. They don't have anything now. They're just going to do we hate ICE around the country and think that's going to catch fire. It's not going to catch fire. I said that Donald Trump was playing 3D chess, and the move that he made up there was amazing. Here's Glenn Beck yesterday.
Not a surrender. I believe this is a reframing of the fight.
Yeah.
The goal here is to get the really bad criminals off the streets. That's what he wanted. So when he talks to Walz and Fry, I don't think this is capitulation.
No.
I think these were traps.
Yeah.
He asked for one narrow, morally defensible thing. Turn over the illegal immigrants already in prison and in jail. This does two things. It isolates the extremists. Because if Walz and Fry were
defuses the rage machine,
fuse that, Trump can actually truthfully say, look, I offered a focused, humane, criminal-only solution, and they're still standing in the way.
Yeah.
Next, agents are leaving Minneapolis. When I read that, I'm like, what? The intelligence, warrants, and targeting is continuing.
Yeah.
But cooperation is demanded through custody and transfers instead of street ops.
I know.
In other words, less spectacle, same authority, cleaner lanes. And he says, we're sending in somebody else that can work with you.
I know.
Who does he send? Tom Holman?
Yeah.
Holman's role is just really simple. You don't have to like us.
Nope.
Just hand over the criminals.
Boom.
I'm just here to get the criminals you already
Yes.
have. Just hand them over. And if Minnesota complies, Trump wins quietly.
There you go.
If Minnesota refuses, Trump wins loudly. That's not blinking. That's checkmate positioning.
Yeah, they wanted summer of 2020 all over again, and guess what? Ain't gonna happen. We learned from then. And then you guys rigged and stole an election, and we had 4 years to think about it and strategize. And here we are now, 250th anniversary of our birth, and we are in a good position. All right, so we've got a lot of stuff coming up on the show. Many special guests. At the bottom of the hour, we're going to be talking to, Mike Collins, a House representative from Georgia, because the FBI raided the Fulton County, the ballots, where they kept the ballots there from 2020. And the left is freaking out. The Democrats are freaking out. I don't know why they would. If the election was free and fair, why would you even wait? You should open the door and say, come on in, look at them, man. Look at them. But they're freaking out. So we'll talk to him at the bottom of the hour. The number here is 800-922-6680. This is a Thursday edition of the Rob Carson Show.
With the actions he's taken, Jacob Fry is making Minneapolis a clown town. Ice Fry's opposing while Tim Walz is dozing. City has become a clown town. Ilhan Omar's hiding fraud. Keith Ellison's obstructing a war on law enforcement. Jacob Fry's conducting. Tampon Tim is so incompetent. Most Minnesotans want no more of him. It's a clown town, Minneapolis. Clown town, it's far from fabulous. Clown town, once great cities become clown town. Clown town.
He's run Minnesota in the ground. Massive fraud Timmy never found. Billions lost. Oh, what a cost. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. He's obstructing ICE every day. He wants illegals to get their way. Out of control. He has no soul. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. Tim is thinking they might impeach him. Should be resigning. For Minnesota, he has done no good. It's sad, so sad. As governor, he's been bad, 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 bad. Many calls for Tim Walz to step down. Minnesota can't afford this clown. Throw him in jail, deny him bail. Goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. His impeachment is an absolute must. Tim has lost the people's trust. He's gotta go, 'cause we all know, goodness gracious, Walz is in trouble. Somalis are all on welfare, and the Dems just seem to not care. Ilhan Omar, she needs to go. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. Many are anti-Semitic. Their statements have been pathetic. They're a threat to all you know. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO. They are always expressing hate of America. Why are they here? Must deport before it's too late. Talk about holiday cheer. Our language, they will not learn it. Own money, refuse to earn it. They are gaming the system so. GTFO, GTFO, GTFO.
Carson Show podcast is everywhere. Go to newsmax.com/listen for details.
Jurisdictions that refuse to cooperate with federal immigration authorities are sanctuaries for criminals. Sanctuary cities are sanctuaries for criminals and endangers the residents of the community. To be clear, we did not agree with Minnesota state and local officials. I didn't ask them to be immigration officers. I'm asking them to be cops working with the cops to help us take criminal aliens off the street.
How about that?
Rather than arresting the same public safety threat, significant public safety threat over and over again, they agree to work with us to identify those people and remove them. I'm also pleased to announce I had a very good meeting with Attorney General Ellison, and he has clarified for me that county jails may notify ICE of the release dates of criminal public safety risks.
Wow, there you go, mission accomplished. No more hippies getting in the way and trying to kill ICE officers, run them over and stuff. It's just amazing, just really, really amazing, and actually pretty damned awesome. A little bit more from Tom Holman, who is now in charge of Minneapolis. The hippies don't know what to do. They don't know what to protest. They're lashing out. Now it's just ICE in general. Oh, we hate ICE, which is kind of odd in the city of Minneapolis to be so anti-ICE. You know?
This is common sense cooperation that allows us to draw down on the number of people we have here.
Yeah.
Yes, I said it. Draw down the number of people here because we have the efficiency and safety of the jails. In my meetings with Governor Walz, A.G. Ellison, and Mayor Fry, as well as state and local law enforcement, again, I appreciate they all acknowledge that we do have federal immigration laws in this country.
I think they're afraid that the DOJ is going to crawl up their butts.
That have been passed by Congress, and that ICE is, in fact,
there's a lot at play here. I think really is.
A legitimate law enforcement agency charged with enforcing those laws. ICE is enforcing laws enacted by Congress. They're a federal statute.
Yep.
The federal government has carried its mission out perfectly. First thing I said to senior staff when I walked in here is what I told you earlier. I didn't come here looking for photo ops or headlines. I come here looking for solutions.
You know, he just looks like, a law enforcement SVU kind of guy. He keeps it low. He's like standing there in front of the, like NYPD Blue. He's standing there. He's delivering the speech, and he goes, now be safe out there. That's what honestly, right? He's just he's so good. And Tom Holman is very matter of fact, very real, very connected. He's one of us. He's one of us. That's one of the great things about him. And here he is just defending ICE in general.
I've heard many people want to know why we're talking to people who they don't consider friends in administration. Bottom line is you can't fix problems if you don't have discussions. I didn't come to Minnesota for photo ops or headlines. You haven't seen me. I came here to seek solutions, and that's what we're going to do.
Yeah.
And we've come a long way, and we got some good wins for the people of Minnesota, I think.
Yeah.
And for the administration and for the safety security of this city.
That's pretty darn cool. But what of course, do the Democrats have to offer? This is Pramila Jayapal. Now, I don't know if you knew this, but the southern border was open for 4 years, and a whole lot of people died and got trafficked and were killed by fentanyl.
We really need to, as soon as we get the gavels back, we have to dismantle DHS and ICE and CBP.
Well, that's the most stupid, insane thing you could ever say.
And we have to reconstruct them to what they really should be doing.
No.
Remember, don't let people tell you that these are agencies that have always existed and they need to exist. They didn't exist before 9/11.
Wow. Here is what happened when Joe Biden was the president.
The president has done more to secure the border and to deal with this issue of immigration than anybody else.
Is the border open, Mr. Secretary? No, it is not.
What you're looking at is nonstop illegal crossings out there as well, with little to no resistance on the U.S. side.
Biden has the authority to close this border today if he wanted to. He lacks the will to get the job done.
The situation at the southern border is showing no signs of easing up.
Yeah.
Now the state of Florida is stepping up to help stem the flow of migrants into the United States.
This is part of a years-long effort for us to help do what the federal government has refused to do, which is to actually defend this country's borders. What has happened as a result? A lot of the illegal crossings are now a big majority of them are now in California and Arizona. Blue states run by blue governors who really aren't doing any sort of...
Yeah, because the Democrat Party is intellectually and morally bankrupt, and they have been for decades. And now their cabal, their plan, their invasion used to overturn your vote, use your tax money to enrich their friends, and load up a bunch of third world refugees with all sorts of largesse, so they'll vote Democrat because people are leaving Democrat states. California, New York, they're leaving, they're streaming out because the policies are absolute crap. And now their house of cards is collapsing. Oh my God, it's collapsing on itself so beautifully. But of course, they're going bananas. As I said, they die like movie vampires, clawing, kicking, screaming, doing everything they can to drag you into hell with them.
This is a small bunch of wannabe Nazis. That's what they are. In a country of 350 million, we outnumber them.
Nah.
If we have to hunt you down the way they hunted down Nazis for decades, we will find your identities. We will find you. We will achieve justice.
Stephen Miller, like a man named Ben Detson, he was the one who created the internment camps for Japanese. Heinrich Himmler, in the Nazi.
Yeah, Stephen Miller's a Jew. Gutfeld last night, I think, really hit the nail on the head. He did one of his, he went off. Listen to this, because I think whenever I hear Nazi, 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 you know what I hear now? Blah, blah, blah.
Here's 3 pages of women who have been murdered by illegal aliens in the last 7 or 8 years. The 7 or 8 years that we have been here talking about this and mocked over it. When we showed the embassy, showed the border being overrun, and people laughed at us. And now you're here. It's like you're the maid trying to clean up a mess, and somebody there is staring at you going, oh, you got to clean it up better. No, you made the mess. This is the Democrat Party's mess here. I'm bored by this.
Yeah, me too.
I'm absolutely bored by this. I'm bored by the Nazi stuff. I'm bored by the concerned people in the media. They were not concerned when innocent women were raped and murdered. You deserve no attention on this. You deserve no credibility on this. It's actually comical because here's my feeling.
What was that?
It seems like you're ready for another one.
Yeah.
You had Good. That went for a couple of weeks. You had this guy, went for a week or so. You're going to need a third one. This is what this is about. Because this is what creates the motivation. The motivation for this drama. Why is it that the cities that aren't sanctuary aren't having any violence? You never explain your own ignorance.
No.
Why is there so much violence in Minneapolis and not in Texas? I don't care. I don't care about any of this performance anymore, Jessica.
No.
It's done. And you know what? Neither does Trump. People are voted for the law.
Yeah, we are so done with your nonsense. Mike Collins, House Representative from the state of Georgia, joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to ReliefFactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
Elon needs a distraction from fraud. Says she was attacked, but that's not the way it happened. A lie. It seems to be a great big lie. Maybe just a ruse to get folks off her back. Victim card Ilhan Omar has played. It is not gonna work. Hey Omar, nice try. You have been exposed.
Winning and winning and never losing. Results that drive Nancy Pelosi to boozing. Chris Christie choking on buffalo wings. These are my favorite conservative things. Gas prices falling, inflation dropping. To our momentum, there is no stopping. An end to 8 wars, what joy that brings. These are a few of my favorite things. Reducing spending, securing the border, restoring faith in law and order, arresting a punk at a no kings. These are my favorite conservative things. When Chuck Schumer makes me nauseous, when I'm feeling sad, I simply remember we're bombing drug folks, and that I don't feel so bad.
FBI agents spent the afternoon inside the records warehouse for the Fulton County, Georgia Board of Elections.
What?
The matter is sealed before a court, meaning details are limited, but we can report this is related to the 2020 presidential election. Sources tell Fox News that agents retrieved documents, phones, and computers after a judge signed a warrant. President Trump has long made Georgia and specifically Fulton County a target of his complaints relating to the 2020 election.
You know, back then when the water pipe burst and they had to stop counting the votes and stuff, and then I don't know, they found all these boxes of ballots in these suitcases under a table and some other weird stuff. I guess the same water emergency disaster happened in battleground states that night at the same time. It's amazing how these plumbing disasters happen. A lot of fast-talking Democrats in Fulton County yesterday, just panicking left and right. Mike Collins, representative from the great state of Georgia, joins us on the Newsmax hotline. How are you today, sir?
Hey, man, I'm doing fine. How about y'all?
Buddy, I couldn't be any better. It made me so happy to see finally something happening here. For years, we've been told we cannot have an opinion on the 2020 election because it was perfectly fine on the up and up. And now that we actually are kind of investigating it a little bit, you'd think that people, Democrats in Fulton County, wanted to defend themselves and say, hey, we got nothing to hide here. Not the case, is it?
No, it's not the case, but that's to be expected. But the real meat of the matter here is the fact that, you know, we're out here every day stomping around this great state, and there are still a lot of questions. And people don't have confidence in the election system.
No.
When they don't have confidence in it, then they're not going to participate. It makes it harder to get them to want to participate. And so this investigation is needed. Kash Patel, he's a great man. He's doing a fantastic job with the FBI. And I'm sure that at the end of the day, you know, they're going to get the answers, or the truth will come out of this thing, and we'll see what's been going on.
Well, you know what is so frustrating, and I'm sure you hear this from your constituents who are like me, who the day after the election, my Facebook profile with all of my listeners under it just disappeared. The day after the election, I didn't even have a post. I had no repercussion. I had no recourse. I had no reasoning. I was silenced on all social media with regard to the election. The night of the election, all of a sudden, for the first time in history, they just stopped counting votes and restarted the next morning. And we've had to sit here and have our face rubbed in it for this many years. For 6 years, we've had our face rubbed in it by people who say it's settled, even though we never had a chance to have a hearing on it. And I think this is gigantic. And I know you can feel it from your constituents.
Yeah, you can feel it.
I know.
You can feel it. People have been welcoming this. People have been asking for this. And there's nothing wrong with that. At the end of the day, this is one of our basic rights that we have here in this country, and that's to cast your vote. And you should have the ability to cast it knowing that with confidence that it's not being stolen or anything's being messed with, or people that are voting that aren't supposed to be voting. And there's nothing wrong with having questions. You know, we had, when this first happened, we had one of the Secretary of State's PR guys out there, and he said, I'm going to tell you for the third time, I don't care how many times you need to come out and do a press conference. If the people of Georgia are not satisfied with your answers, then you need to make sure that they are. That's your job.
Amen.
And it should have already been looked at. Thank goodness that we've got people that are continuing to charge forward with this. Yeah, it's 6 years later. Yeah. But still, people deserve to know answers.
Well, it actually, I think, is fortuitous because Donald Trump and we went through 4 years of wandering in the desert and preparing a plan, and some amazing things are happening. I want to ask you about people like Brad Raffensperger, supposedly Republicans, and I heard that maybe the reason why he has not been so curious and whatnot is because a lot of rhinos, a lot of traditional Republicans in the state of Georgia are afraid of being called racist or whatever. Or are they just playing for the wrong team? What do you think?
Well, I really don't try to fish over Raffensperger's court. I let him speak for himself.
Gotcha.
But I do know that if he's out there like I am, and I know he's out there because he's running statewide, and I know that he's got to be getting the same feedback, the same comments that I'm getting. And this isn't like just a one-off. I guarantee it's everywhere we go, we're going to get one person to talk about the election cycle and how they still are wondering about some of the incidences that happen, especially in Fulton County. And so I know he's getting that. and he should be welcoming, just like the rest of us, this investigation. I don't know if he is or not. I have not spoken to him.
How you feeling about this SAVE Act? I think we need it. And if that didn't work, are you supporting a possibility of blowing up the filibuster so we can actually make sure we get voter integrity in the country?
You know, I think you're seeing the Senate is moving on that. I noticed Lee picked up a few more co-sponsors over there this past week.
Good.
And they are inching further. I mean, the Senate's always moved a lot slower, it seems like, than the House. You figure we passed the SAVE Act last spring.
Yep.
In spring of 2025.
Yeah.
You know, and so we need this now. We need a national voter ID to make sure that here's the funny thing. We're the only country in the world that doesn't require this.
I know. Well, there's a reason for it. Because our elections are corrupted, man. I mean, look at they brought in 20 million illegals across the border, loaded them up with all sorts of government largesse, declared the merging of COVID, took $2 trillion and basically looted the treasury to pay off these states and whatnot. And because, let's face it, the Democrat states are losing population. It's a cabal. We've got to fix this voting system. It's not been the reason why Democrats are so out there, now today saying like Pramila Jayapal, we got to get rid of the DHS and the CBP, is because they haven't had to win an election on ideas in a very long time.
Yeah, no, they haven't. They haven't.
I know.
And I think America has woke up, is awake to the fact that these illegals, the whole reasoning for them coming in, transporting them around the country, setting them up with living and clothes and food, was to eventually get them into the voting process.
Yes, sir.
For instance, as long as you could get a driver's license and establish some sort of residency, a lot of them are grabbing the ability to vote. And you've got certain states, you've got California out there that are willing to let them vote on local elections now.
Mm-hmm.
And so
it's always been the plan, man. It's always been the plan.
It has been. So I think that just puts more fuel on the fire for the fact that we've got to have the SAVE Act passed. And we need to get it now before this November election comes along.
Yes, sir.
Georgia's done a good bit to fix the problems that we had here in the state of Georgia, but the SAVE Act will definitely help make sure that people understand that these votes are going to be secure and only legal citizens are voting. Representative,
you were the author of the Laken Riley Act. I'd like to continue the conversation on the other side of the break if we can. Can you do that, sir?
Yeah,
I want to talk about what's happening in Minnesota, and I think what Donald Trump did up there with Holman and all that was a brilliant chess move. If you could hold on, we would greatly appreciate it. Representative Mike Collins, House Representative from the great state of Georgia, on the phone. We'll continue the conversation on the other side of the break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Columbia.
Here we go.
Who does he send? Tom Holman? Holman's role is just really simple. You don't have to like us. Just hand over the criminals. I'm just here to get the criminals you already have. Just hand them over. And if Minnesota complies, Trump wins quietly. If Minnesota refuses, Trump wins loudly. That's not blinking. That's checkmate positioning.
I said earlier this week, and because I kind of wanted, I think a lot of people wanted to see the violent mob in Minneapolis to get its butt kicked, and we were hoping maybe Insurrection Act. But turns out Donald Trump was playing 3D chess again and avoided that. And I got to tell you, I knew it. I knew it that day. I was questioning it. I was like, what the what? And then I went, uh-oh. Representative Mike Collins, House Republican from Georgia. What did you think Monday night when this all came down? And instead of Insurrection Act, instead of troops and all of that, Donald Trump said, we're going to defuse the situation. What are your thoughts?
Well, I think it's just pure leadership.
I know.
And you're right. President Trump is always 3-4 moves ahead of everybody else. And when you pick out somebody like Tom Holman, because Tom Holman is not your guy that's going to be out there for the photo ops.
Yep.
He's not your guy that's out there politicking. He is dead up policy. He is law and order border. And I couldn't think of a better person to send up there to get this thing fixed.
Yeah.
And make sure that we get these illegal criminals off the streets. And the really unique thing about that, Rob, the Laken Riley Act ties into this so easy because the Laken Riley Act gives local law enforcement the ability to contact ICE when some of these smaller, lesser crimes are being committed, like robbery or carjacking, whatever, shoplifting, and get them off the street. But without the Laken Riley Act, they couldn't do that before.
Yes.
So
well, why should our brothers in uniform be fighting each other? It's ridiculous what they've done to pit local police against and to leftize the police departments in these cities. Ridiculous. How's Georgia doing? How are you guys getting along down there, working with the federal officials?
And here's the thing, Rob. Most people think that like ICE goes and sets up shop in one place. They're working all across this country.
Yes, sir.
They're not just in Minnesota. As a matter of fact, just to give you a number, Georgia is a top 5 state for arrest of illegal criminal people that ICE is picking up. We're in the top 5 of the states. You don't hear any of that mess going on here.
No.
The only place you hear it is in Minnesota.
Yep.
And Minnesota is deep blue, sanctuary city, sanctuary people running that state, and it's the same game plan that they've had for decades. They don't want law and order. They want lawlessness, and they want chaos, and they want mob rule, so that one day you'll wake up so frustrated that you'll throw your hands up and say, please, whatever the heck you're going to do to us, do it. Just leave me alone.
No, I don't think we're ready to do that. I think the American people, and they're trying to make us believe that ICE are Nazis and all that. It is so foul. I like to say that the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell, and they are. They double down on stupid. They haven't learned anything from 2024, and they literally think after 4 years of us screaming, going, my God, do something about the border. You got Pramila Jayapal saying, oh, let's just defund it. Are you out of your mind? I love the fact that they haven't learned. How optimistic are you about the midterms, by the way?
Yeah. You know, what now?
How optimistic are you about the midterms? Because the Democrats haven't learned a damn thing.
Hey, you know what, Rob? I'm going to tell you something. We have the opportunity to pick up seats in the House.
I know we do.
And we have the opportunity to get a whole lot closer to 60 in the Senate. Because this economy is already turning.
Oh, yes.
And when and when people begin to feel that money in their back pockets, that more money, and with costs coming down, that's the whole key to this thing. That's the Democrats shut down the government the first time around for 2 reasons. Number one, they wanted to give illegals health care. But number two, they saw the fact that we were moving so fast that they didn't know any other game plan to try to kill this economy and try to put us on our back heels. It didn't work. Neither one of them worked.
Well, you had a 5.5% GDP in the fourth quarter despite it all.
Yeah, I know.
Come on, man.
And we've gotten our appropriation bills done. So you're seeing progress in the House and in the Senate with getting our actual work that we're required to do done. You're seeing this economy just turn around on a dime.
Oh, brother.
People are excited.
Hey, man, what about that? Yesterday, these savings accounts for your kids. This is the first step toward reforming the pyramid scheme of Social Security that we have ever seen. That's what Social Security is. I mean, this is a game changer.
Oh, big time. And look at how many people in the private sector are saying, hey, you know what? I can get behind this and help and push this.
Yes.
With either money or help making sure that people understand what this program's all about. It's a new day in this country.
I swear to God.
You can feel it. President Trump will go down into history as the best president of my lifetime.
Oh, brother.
But the people that he has surrounded himself with, the team of people and his cabinet, are second to none.
Yeah.
And you are seeing, this thing turn around. We'll have this place coming like a sewing machine.
I swear. And then you got the 250th anniversary, and they're going to have an MMA fight on the grounds of the. Oh, brother, I want to be there. I said, I'm going to be there if I have to serve drinks. I will be. I will be there. Hey, by the way, are you in Georgia right now? And what did you get that ice down there?
We're in Georgia right now. I'm a little further south than
what
the weather hit. Thank the good Lord. I'm South Georgia. I got real thin blood, man.
All right, one other question. I want some honesty here. This is a big deal. Crystal Burger or White Castle? Which one?
Oh, man. I grew up on Crystal Burgers, man.
I drove back to Kansas City, and I drove by the Church of White Castle. It's in Columbus, Ohio. That's where the headquarters. I drove by, and I was like, I felt like I needed to stop and leave an offering.
Yeah, all we had around here was Crystal Burgers.
I know.
Now about a sack full.
Oh, hell yeah. You can't just eat one. You got to eat 6. Listen, Mike Collins, I really appreciate your time. I am so optimistic about the future of our country, and I believe it will be the greatest year for freedom, not only in our country, but around the world. I really do, for freedom and for faith.
Brother.
It's going to be great. Man, I appreciate you. You can go to Rep Mike Collins on Twitter. Anywhere else people can follow you, my friend?
That's it, MikeCollinsGA.com, man. Look us up. I'm running for the U.S. Senate. I'm going to take care of one of these Democrat problems we got in the state of Georgia. I'm going to send John Ossoff packing. Oh,
I love it. Hey, we got to have you back on. We're here for you with this Senate run because I want to see Ossoff gone. I want to see him gone. Thank you, my friend. I appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show. Crystal Burger is good. They're White Castles. They are White Castles. I'd have to try it again to see who I'd give an advantage to. But they're both very similar. Have you had them, guys? Streamers, have you had Crystal Burger or White Castle? I love me some White Castle. God dang it, I love me some White Castle. I know you don't. You know what? Here's the deal. Even when I lived in a city with a White Castle, I wanted to go to White Castle. And that's. You know, a lot of people say, well, you don't like it if you live there. Oh, bullcrap. No. So anyway, hello, how are you? Are you having fun? Oh, I got some news. There's a real opportunity that we are going to be doing something with listeners. Some sort of a trip or something. I don't know yet. We're working on it, though. I'll keep you. I remember yesterday I was talking to you streamers about maybe doing a streamer thing where you guys get together, you YouTubers, you Rumbly-Roos, you guys on Instagram, you guys on Facebook, all of us get together, go on a cruise. It's coming. You're going to be hanging out with me. We'll see. It's the 250th year. We got to celebrate together. There's only one time, right? There's only one time we're going to get to do this. What am I going to talk about? Oh, yes. I'm going to do this next. Anyway. I got my desk here, by the way, the desk that I've been talking about. And yesterday, I thought my head was going to explode because they got it here and they had to destroy it. They had to take it apart to get it upstairs. And there was some damage. And now we got to put it all back together again this weekend. But everything's going to work. Everything's going to be good. So here we go. Here we go. Come on.
345 here.
Okay. There was talk of gold going to $5,600. Newsmax had the story on the Newsmax.com website today. Gold advanced to a record high close to $5,600 an ounce Thursday, as investors sought refuge from escalating geopolitical tensions and weakening economic signals from the United States. $5,600. I just got a little message this morning from Birch Gold. They said everything's golden. Everything's golden. You got your 401k moved over, and now I can just watch it grow. And look, it grew overnight. Bing! Like somebody planted some little magic gold beans in my 401k, and it just went bing, just like that. There you go. $5,600. Are you kidding me? Unbelievable. Right? Let me look at it right now. $5,341. $5,300. Let's look at silver. Hold on. 53. That's gold's price, guys. Why are you not invested in gold? Why have you $114 for silver? Text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold. Will you do that today, for crying out loud? Because every moment that ticks away, gold becomes less affordable for you. Gold becomes less affordable for you. Get on it. By the way, until tomorrow, up to $10,000 rebate on qualifying purchases. How much you got? You got money in savings? It's money in savings. What the hell is money in savings? Money in savings does nothing. You might as well bury it in a tin can in your backyard. You do it like by that in Shawshank Redemption in a cigar box under an oak tree. That's about the kind of return you're going to get, for crying out loud. $5,600. It could be $6,000. Hell, it could be $7,000 by next year. It could be $8,000. I don't even know. It was $2,600 a year ago December. It's $5,600 now. Text my name, Rob, to Birch Gold. Rob to 989898, for goodness sake. Wow, it's amazing. Donald Trump just did something remarkable. It's never been done in our lifetimes. He has basically made Social Security for your kids obsolete.
Every president in modern history has left our children with nothing but debt. But under this administration, we're going to leave every child with real assets and a shot at financial freedom.
Wow.
We'll ensure that Americans don't just end their lives with a nest egg, but instead all Americans will begin their lives with a beautiful nest egg.
They're saying if you do, I think it's you can put up $5,000 a year in your kid's account, and then by the time they're 30 years old, they'll have $1 million. Can you believe that? Can you believe that? And it's also going to do dramatic things for the stock market, for American business. Here's a little more.
When Trump accounts officially launch on July 4th of this year, every parent will be able to activate their accounts and access the funds at the trumpaccounts.gov. So it's all set up, all ready to go. It's beautiful. The site is beautiful.
It is. It's pretty cool.
On that glorious day, we also expect to have commitments from generous private individuals.
Yeah, companies are matching the whole deal. It's a game changer. It's a game changer. We are witnessing history every day. More on that coming up. Also, Alex Pretty, not such a great guy after all. No. Believe it or not such a great guy after all. All that's coming up next hour on The Rob Carson Show. Don't go anywhere.
about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is hour number 2 of the Rob Carson Show, and the number. I don't give out this number enough, because I don't give out my number very often, particularly the ladies. 800-922-6680. Usually because they never call. That's one of the reasons why I don't give the number out to the ladies. But anyway, welcome to hour number of the show. We got a lot of stuff on the plate today. Personal note here. Are you ready for this? I didn't even know these existed. I got an indoor smoker. What? Yeah, I got an indoor smoker. I lived in Kansas City for 10 years, and I am a graduate of Barbecue Institute. I competed in the American Royal, actually, and I didn't even know that indoor smokers existed, and I got an indoor smoker. And what it does is it recycles the smoke. That like the beautiful hickory or the beautiful pecan or whatever, depending on whether you're making pork or whether you're ribs or salmon or whatever, and it makes it into steam, and you could smoke indoors. So I'm going to unpack that later. You might want to follow me on social media. I know it's not the most exciting thing in the world, but I am, I would consider to be not quite doctorate, but certainly masters in barbecue. Not kidding. I've been doing it for a very long time. Oh, and then also my desk that I ordered from overseas arrived yesterday. And after 4 months building the desk, ordering the desk, getting it through customs, paperwork beyond belief. I mean, my God. Mind blowing. Literally, I paid more to get it into the country than the damn desk cost. We get it here. The only building in America that houses offices and whatnot that does not have a door wider than 36 inches. And I thought we took care of it in Asia, but no, we didn't. So the guys who came here to bring it upstairs had to tear the damn thing apart. They had to tear it apart and bring it upstairs. And I got to tell you, yesterday, I thought my head was going to explode. I went home and I went to bed at 7:30. And I just said, you know what? I'm going to take my Beams Dream Powder. And I said, I've got to sleep through this. I got to sleep through this, whatever. On Rumble, Jay Gree says, Rob, what are you smoking? This weekend I'm smoking salmon. All right? Let me give you a real quick tip. This is all I'm going to do, and then we're going to move on to the topics of the day. First of all, you need to learn the ways of the smoke. If you do not know the ways of the smoke, it's not grilling. Grilling is just putting stuff on fire outside. Smoke. Learn the ways of the smoke. Get on it. Get a smoker. Do it. Salmon, pecan wood, 250 degrees, 40 minutes. Big fillet. There you go. Sea salt, fresh cracked pepper. Your head will explode. Your head will explode. It's so bloody good. You have no idea. You have no idea how good salmon is until you've smoked it with pecan wood. There you go. A little bit more on these child savings accounts for your kids. I wish I could do this retroactively for my generation. Because my parents, I think maybe at one point in my life we had a $100 savings bond that you sit on for like 10 years and then you get $100, whatever. And of course that was gone. That was all I got because my parents were poor. But now every kid's going to be able to get a savings account, and oddly enough, no Democrats voted for this.
To celebrate a thrilling new milestone for America, the first generation of Trump account children. Trump account children.
Crazy, right?
For the first time ever.
Hey, are the Democrats saying this is racist or something? They got to be screaming it's racist, maybe having some big violent protests somewhere, maybe out in front of the Federal Reserve or something.
We're going to give every newborn American child a financial stake in the future, Head Start life.
And surely it's going to be discriminating against blacks and Hispanics.
A fair shot at the American...
What, for every child? Are you kidding me?
Something
I thought Donald Trump was a Nazi or white supremacist or something like that.
People don't talk about so much.
That's so weird.
At least not for the last 4 years they haven't.
Yeah, we like our kids to grow up, not to be aborted in the womb.
But now they're talking about it big. This last period of time, it's been unbelievable.
It's pretty cool.
You see what's going on with our economy, the tremendous investments that's been made.
It's going to be gigantic. Somebody shut the kid up in the background there. And a lot of American companies, the evil capitalist companies, are contributing too.
When Trump accounts officially launch on July 4th of this year, every parent will be able to activate their accounts and access the funds at the trumpaccounts.gov.
There you go.
So it's all set up, all ready to go.
It's remarkable because Social Security is a joke. I'm not depending on Social Security. Generation X is the first generation to say, oh, really, Social Security? Okay, sure. I'm going to be retiring on Social Security. So stupid. And, I'm not. It'll be like a little supplemental, a little play money, a little walk-around money is what my Social Security is going to be. It's going to be like, I don't know, maybe pay the house payment on a Airstream trailer on the beach or something, maybe something like that. But I am not depending on Social Security. Dear God, if you do, good luck. Good luck with that, because I've never talked to anybody who's on Social Security who's living large, able to travel the country or anything like that. Nope, not one little bit. Nicki Minaj, she's a rapper. And she's also a person of color. She should hate Donald Trump, right? No. She's a big deal. She's a big deal in the rap world, right? And here she is yesterday. And I know she's done some offensive songs. I get it. I understand. But, sometimes people have come to Jesus moments. Sometimes they turn things around a little bit. So, honestly, lighten up. Here she is.
Hello. Well, I don't know.
She is cute as a bug's ear.
What to say, but I will say that I am probably the president's #1 fan.
Well, it's clearly that you're a white supremacist.
And that's not going to change.
Yeah.
And the hate or what people have to say, it does not affect me at all. It actually motivates me to support him more.
I know. It's kind of cool.
And it's going to motivate all of us to support him more. We're not going to let them get away with bullying him.
100%. I love it. A guy named Mike Dell spoke yesterday about this, and I just thought this was an extraordinary presser, because we've been sitting around here mentally masturbating about if we're going to fix Social Security is broke. Joe Biden went to Washington, D.C. 50 years ago. Social Security still broke. It's a giant pyramid scheme. It's a joke. All right. Yesterday was such a bellwether moment. After all of the nonsense for 50 years, we have a president who's changing it. Mike Dell.
Well, 4 years ago, we set off on a journey to reconnect every child in America with the American dream. This president ran on a Main Street agenda that too many people have been left out and left behind. And
what has Washington, D.C. done for you lately, other than just looting the Treasury, enriching themselves, and keeping you on a sustenance living if you're on Social Security? What has Washington, D.C. done for you? Well, let me just answer the question. D word for Richard.
And his articulation of no tax on tips, that doesn't help rich folks.
I know.
That helps
no tax on overtime.
Those left out and left behind.
Yeah.
No tax on Social Security.
Yeah, don't forget being able to write off the interest on an American-made car. And by the way, as a former car salesman, what's the biggest part? What are you paying the first 2 to 3 years of your car loan? Interest.
No tax on overtime. And when Ted Cruz authored the Invest America Act in the Senate, and Michael Dell partnered with me to bring the private sector to bear on this.
Yeah, that's what we need. We've been talking about privatizing Social Security. You can't privatize Social Security. You can't do it. You're just going to steal the money. And, of course, what has Social Security done? Nothing. Still a joke. That's Democrats. Probably because they're stealing money from the damn Social Security Administration. They steal money for anything else. Why the heck not? Of course. Here's Kevin O'Leary. He's, from Shark Tank and everything. Also brilliant, by the way. Should have gotten an Oscar nomination, Best Supporting, for Marty Supreme.
On behalf of all the entrepreneurs in America, I'd like to thank you, Mr. President, because we create 72% of the jobs. Companies 5 to 500 employees, and all we care about is policy.
I know.
We love policy, pro-business policy, and these accounts are fantastic for independence and support. I thank you very much. It's all about the entrepreneur, and I think you know that.
There's a reason why the stock market is just going through the ceiling, and it is not even going to slow down. What I tell you, last year I said that in the vacuum of any good news reported by the liberal media, how are we going to get the message across? We have to overwhelm them with good news, and it's happening. And all the Democrats can do is whine and complain, say that ICE is, racist, Nazis, and all of this, they are going to be drowned out this next year as things go just tremendously well. Absolutely remarkable. Absolutely remarkable. Let's move on to other stuff. Here. This is kind of interesting. I don't know if you know about this. This Alex Pretty, this guy who got shot by ICE about a week ago. The Democrats always looking for the next thing. They always looking for cannon fodder and all this. They had Renee Good. They had George Floyd. They had Michael Brown. They had this guy Alex Pretty, and they always show up on the wrong side of history. They use people's deaths as some sort of fuel for a fire of nonsense and destruction. And they tried doing that in Minneapolis. Turns out old Alex Pretty, even though everybody said he was so fantastic and so awesome, an amazing guy, he actually attacked ICE about a week earlier with the gun on him and had a rib broken.
Yeah, Aaron, and as a reminder, this is a physical clash that happened
from CNN.
Between Alex Pretty and federal agents over a week before he was fatally shot in Minneapolis this past weekend. So let's walk through that video. You see him there, also kicking.
Behaving like an unhinged lunatic.
Tailgate on that.
Kicked the light out of an ICE vehicle.
As it drives away. There you're seeing the tackling of the federal agents. This whole interaction only lasts a few seconds. Yeah. Now, you'll also
remember what I told you about the Chihuahua and the pit bull. The Chihuahua, he's a Chihuahua there. The fence, pit bulls in the truck there, and then the Chihuahua, the doors open, the pit bull comes out and kicks the Chihuahua's butt, and the Chihuahua didn't learn anything.
You'll notice here in a bit that there does appear to be a gun that is tucked in his waistband.
Lucky he didn't get shot this time. Why didn't they shoot him that time? Huh? I don't understand.
It's unclear, however, if the agents noticed it. There you see
wanted to murder him.
The gun tucked into his waistband. Now, they do not disarm him, and as we see later in that video,
it's like maybe something might have changed the second time. Maybe he might have reached for the gun or something.
Agents walk away. It is unclear, Aaron, however, what happened before this video and what happens afterwards. This was filmed less than 2 miles from the scene of the deadly encounter this past weekend, and as you can see from his attire, he is wearing similar clothing.
Probably the same clothes, haven't washed them either.
As he was, again, this past Saturday. Now, Aaron, your viewers may remember, CNN previously reported just yesterday that Pretty did have an encounter with federal agents a week prior to Saturday where he suffered a broken rib. It is unclear, however, if the video we're seeing here is of that incident.
He's about the dumbest Chihuahua that ever walked on the face of the earth. On the other side of the break, Ana Navarro's slobbering love fest for this guy. And, of course, all of this, again, another instance where they end up looking like complete fools. Let's take a break and come back. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Step down. Tim Walz should step down for allowing so much fraud. If Tim Walz would resign, Minnesota would applaud. More than $1 billion lost to fraud, a tremendous cost. Step down. Tim Walz should step down. He cannot carry on. Step down. Do it today. Tim Walz, you need to go.
Green is a country we should buy. You know I'm really gonna try. Buy in Greenland something we should do, or slap another tariff on the EU. Denmark, it's really time to sell. We promise to treat Greenland well. Greenland, it would be quite a prize. Mineral rich and really big in size. The ice, so nice. Much land, it's grand security. A great strategy. Greenland we should buy. Portland is a mess. Their mayor must confess. It's a city overrun with thugs. We will hit them hard. I'm sending in the guard. They'll wipe out the crime and all the drugs. Listen up, Antifa. It's become my endeavor. Want you out of Portland forever. Gotta put this to an end. I promise you, Antifa, the National Guard will defeat ya. With their batons they will greet ya. You can bet they're not your friend.
County.
Got a little rejoin, boom, boom.
Would I launch strikes in Mexico to stop drugs?
Come on.
It's okay with me.
Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang. Boom, 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 boom. John Lee Hooker's original being redone by Big Head Todd and the Monsters, who I've been following for a very long time. Love, 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 love. So Alex Pretty, he was an innocent rectum in Minneapolis. He was a best. He was a nurse. He was a nurse, and he was a patriot. And he served to be. He was fired because he was inappropriate behavior at work. His wife left him because he was a psycho, and he attacked ICE officers a week earlier.
Tonight, a representative for Alex Pretty's family confirming this newly released video shows him interacting with federal agents on January 13, 11 days before he was fatally shot. Wow. The video shows him kicking a vehicle and agents tackling him to the ground. The video does not show what happened before the incident.
Yeah, that is kind of weird. But, Anna Navarro, who's wrong about everything, said he's dreamy.
They chose to, they killed the wrong guy.
Oh, she almost said murdered.
Right, because this is like the perfect guy. Alex Pretty is the guy you would want.
Oh my God, hold on. He's the perfect guy. You have had some bad experiences with men, haven't you, girlfriend?
Want to date your daughter. The guy.
What? She said to date your daughter?
Wrong guy, right? Because this is like the perfect guy. Alex Pretty is the guy you would want to date your daughter.
If Alex Pretty tried to date my daughter, I would beat his ass.
The guy you would want your son to grow up to be a decent human being who was serving humanity, serving sick veterans, who is, there's
not since he got fired.
Nothing that has been said about that man that isn't wonderful. And so they can't malign him.
Oh my God. And this is Raphael Warnock. He went to go to the site where Alex Pretty lost his life because, he did something stupid, and he calls it hallowed ground.
In a real sense, this is holy ground.
Oh my God.
Consecrated by blood spilled here.
Oh, shut up with your drama.
I had to be here to stand in the very place
my God.
Where this tragedy unfurled, not only for Alex Pretty, but for Renee Good,
and
for George Floyd.
George Floyd, of course. George Floyd. Okay. Wow. Here's a Christopher Rufo talking about Alex Pretty.
Well, I think it follows a very familiar pattern. You know, we remember Kilmar Abrego Garcia, who was a Maryland dad, a stellar immigrant from Latin America, turned out to be an MS-13 gangbanger. We have the same thing here. Alex Pretty was supposed to be an innocent bystander, a heroic nurse who was just helping people, but in fact, he is a violent leftist agitator that was seeking armed conflict with the police. And he did it once. He brought a gun to the fight. He did it again. And whether or not courts will adjudicate whether it was a justified or an unjustified shooting, this portrait of this person that the left was trying to present.
Man, your heroes suck. They really, really suck. Wow. Ilhan Omar got attacked by somebody with vinegar. With apple cider vinegar. One of the people who was nearby said it was toxic, smelled like ammonia, and vomited. I would hate to open a jar of pickles around that person because honestly, really? Wow, holy hell. Here she is talking about the vinegar attack, which, really? Okay, sure.
At that moment, I remember feeling like someone was saying something.
If they discover this guy's an insider, she could be in quite a pickle.
Close to me.
Okay, not worth it.
And I looked up, and there was a man plunging towards me.
Plunging? After you cued him to come and do it. Plunging!
And there was like some liquid thing that I, at the moment, thought it was like a spit. And so I, instinctively tried to like punch him.
You went after him, which was the dumbest thing in the world because the guy's a leftist. He had his he's got like literally he's got Black Lives Matter. He was at their stuff. It was a complete setup. I know I this because I'm not stupid. And she's looking for somebody because the DHS is about to crawl up her butt, and so is the FBI because she's a criminal. She's a crooked politician. This is from Jim Gossett about Ilhan Omar being attacked by vinegar.
Ilhan needs a distraction from fraud. Says she was attacked.
Yeah, okay, Jussie.
But that's not the way it happened.
Why is it not the biggest story in the country? What?
It seems to be a great big lie.
Why is it not the biggest story in the country today?
Maybe just a ruse.
Where's the pipe bomber? Well, honestly, what the hell?
To get folks off her back.
Yeah, duh.
Victim card Ilhan Omar has played.
Why aren't they talking about this criminal going after her?
It's not gonna work.
It should be at the top of every newscast.
Hey Omar, nice try.
That's a bunch of crap is what it is. Vinegar smelling crap.
You have been exposed.
There you go, Jim Gossett on the Rob Carson Show. Hey. Pretty awesome stuff. Go to Jim Gossett, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy, patreon.com, Jim Gossett Comedy. Help a brother out. Give him $10 a month. He will send you satire every day. And this is the only show in America where you're going to hear it. Every other conservative show, they just got opinions. Not us. No. We make you laugh a little bit. Michael Charbon, Newsmax Canadian correspondent and the host of the Charbon Report, joins us next. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain?
see. In libs' heads I'm living. The fits I am giving to Whoopi, Sunny, and Joy. Rent-free, I'm occupying. Rosie is lying if she says I'm not in her head. Break free, they simply can't do it. When you get down to it, they have TDS real bad. Hatred, just watch it as it spreads. Because inside their heads I live.
Three, two, one.
Oh, beauty, go.
Take off to the great white north. Take off. It's a beauty way to go. Take off to the great white north.
Before we introduce Michael Charbon, a little backpedaling from the Prime Minister.
I'm pleased today to announce that Canada and China have reached a preliminary but landmark trade agreement.
We have commitments under CUSMA that not to pursue free trade agreements with non-market economies without prior notification. We have no intention of doing that with China or any other non-market economy.
Michael Charbon, the host of the Charbon Report, I'm thinking maybe the 100% tariff threat made him kind of rethink his partnership with China. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good, brother. There's several problems with this. Number one,
is it because they're pieces of crap?
Well, my understanding is they're just over $10,000 for the vehicle, but there's a larger question, Rob.
Yep.
Does China have the ability to shut down all those vehicles remotely? Does China have the ability to monitor all those cameras?
Yep.
I mean, this is the same country that we didn't want to. Something that President Trump identified, a $0.5 billion mineral mine with precious minerals. Like, all these things are wrong. What Carney's trying to do, I mean, he's on DEFCON 5 to try and save himself. He's got a minority government, which is perilous. He could get outvoted. And he's got Alberta jumping up and down saying they want to leave. So,
I know, I saw that. Now, real quick, did you see the parliamentary debate between Paul Olivier? He was back with Carney the other day. It was pretty good. It was pretty good to watch, man. I love Paul Olivier. He just eats him alive, man.
Well, Poilievre is the conservative banner carrier that we've been looking for. The unfortunate reality, though, Rob, is every time we have an election in Canada, it's like Groundhog Day. Everybody says, oh, the Conservatives are coming through, and we need the savior, and everybody capitulates.
I know.
And then they elect the Liberals again. I mean, I don't get it.
I don't either. I want you to hear this real quick from Jesse the Body Ventura.
How about since Trump dislikes Minnesota so bad and we're so out of control, let's join Canada.
Yay.
Instead of Canada becoming the 51st state of America and lose their health care, like they said, I'd like to see Minnesota, all of us become Canadians. It's obvious Donald Trump don't want us.
Now, I know we've talked here. Alberta for Minnesota, I'd say hell yeah. I did a poll on it, by the way, Michael Charbon. And I said, would you want to trade Minnesota for Alberta? My poll on Twitter, 55.6% hell yes and 44% hell no. That's what they said. What do you think?
Yeah, well, first of all, Canada will never be the 51st state.
Yes. Well, then we don't. It's an even. We didn't even need to add one. We just got an even trade.
No.
What?
No, don't forget, Alberta is using the same tactics that Donald Trump uses. You come in DEFCON 5, you ask for the world, everybody gets all upset and everything, and then all of a sudden, like Greenland, everything is resolved. So this
wait, hold on. I think the people of Alberta really want to get the GTFO. They don't want to be a part of this nonsense anymore. I think they're serious. I think you are discounting the average people of Alberta. I think that's folly.
No, I have great respect for the people of Alberta. Mm-hmm. They are Canadians and we're Canadians. Many of them came over as Polish and Ukrainian immigrants. They are part of the fabric of our great country. The problem is that, as always, the West looks upon Ottawa and Ontario as the bad guys from the East and don't care what's happening in the West. I think what has to take place is there has to be some reconciliation, because the Liberals put so many things in the mix to destroy what Alberta's all about, and that's farming and that's oil. So we got to do that. But as far as Jesse Ventura, Canada doesn't want any leering centers.
Yes.
We don't want millions of dollars of debt.
Yeah, and my producer...
We've got more than our share of illegal immigrants walking around getting handouts from our taxpayers, so we're not interested.
Man, you guys must load them up with all sorts of free crap, because if Somalians go to Minnesota, well, I mean, it would have to be really good to move to Canada, because it's cold.
All I've got to say is we're hoping that the immigration system, which was a catastrophe under Trudeau, is trying to get itself back again. We are on the cusp of either getting involved in a recession. We've got to get this Kuzma thing resolved and get a trade deal done. Yeah. And if Carney doesn't come through with all this, he will probably lose the next election.
He should lose it. Dear God in heaven, are you people out of your friggin' minds up there? The man is a tool. He's a fool. He's a tool. He looked like an idiot over in Davos. By the way, Polling Canada did a poll. Who would you prefer to lead Canada? Are you ready for this? 62% said Trump, 38% said Carney.
Yeah, I mean, Canadians, so don't forget, Rob, we listen to great radio shows like the Rob Carson Show. Yes. We watch conservative television like Newsmax and Fox. Yes. And we are getting an impression that what Donald Trump is doing, although the mass media, which we are afflicted with as well, don't forget, we have the Canadian Broadcasting Corporation. Yeah. And we have that same kind of left-wing focus and interpretation. Canadians are getting fed up. They're trying to take our guns away now.
I know. I think it's listen. This is going to impact Canada in a very good fashion. I think that Donald Trump played hardball. Poilievre, he did not win the last time, and I know there was some consternation between him and Trump. But this freedom and free market wave that's sweeping the world is going to sweep right over Canada, and it's going to happen. You're teetering anyway. You are teetering anyway. The more you see the success here, and I'll tell you what, Doug Ford, I saw Doug Ford the other day. He was down with bringing these stupid Chinese EVs in there, which would just destroy the Canadian auto industry up there. A lot of hardworking Canadians put together great cars up there, and that fat doofus, and he's a fat doofus, he's always been a fat doofus, he's like, okay, we'll take those cars. Really? Really, Doug Ford?
Well, he can't go against the Prime Minister. But
whatever.
It will affect both of our industries. One of the points that President Trump brought up is that he doesn't want Canada to be a clearinghouse, which was what Mexico was for a little while, bringing in cheap, unauthorized goods and selling them very quietly back into the United States.
Yeah.
The EV situation there's a definite concern, and like I said, there's lots of hair on that tennis ball. Does China have complete control of all the electronics? Can they shut all these EVs?
Of course they can. Of course they can. Hey, Michael, we got to take a break. Okay? More with Michael Charbon coming up in just a moment. Let's take a break. This is the Rob Carson Show.
Canada doesn't live because of the United States. Canada thrives because we are Canadian.
The Trump administration is weakness masquerading as strength, and people need to understand that. I respect what Carney did because he had courage of convictions. He stood up, and I think we need to stand up in America and call this out with clarity. We can lose our republic as we know it. Our country combined.
The Carney and Newsom clown show in Davos, and both of them did face plants. Michael Charbon joins us on the Newsmax hotline, the host of the Charbon Report, also our official Canadian correspondent. I got a joke on the Rumble chat. You want to hear it, Michael?
Go for it, brother.
What's the difference between a Canadian and a canoe? The canoe tips. Thank you. Okay. By the way, you just got back from vacation. Now, Canadians, I don't know if you knew this, in the wintertime when it gets really cold up there, they go to much warmer destinations. Canada, or the Minnesota and South Dakota, big on that list. Big on that.
Rob, Carson, I was sitting in a beautiful southern location.
I saw your pictures. Where were you? Dominican Republic, where were you?
That's right. And I was listening to you on my earbuds and laughing my head off. You were talking about someone came over for dinner and using a kid to open the door. I'm laughing. They're looking at me like I'm crazy.
Oh, you were talking about the guy who the guy who was arrested who used his kid, his 5-year-old. He abandoned his 5-year-old, the illegal. He said he basically, I think what he did was the ICE officers came and they threw the kid. They just said here at the officers. They fell over like bowling pins, and he ran in the other direction. And then apparently the ICE they used the kid as a battering ram, because that's how evil they are.
But then the ironic story, it's terrible the way ICE is arresting children.
Oh, Lord.
I can't believe
Stupid.
the blatant misrepresentation. And I mean, I have multiple TV screens in my office. Yes. I have independent feeds. I watch things simultaneously.
Yes.
And to be able to actually, in real time, watch the spin.
I know.
And on that razor's edge of a lie.
Oh.
I mean, Rob, you make news entertaining and fun. That's why.
Michael, you heard what I said. I said that the reason why conservative comedy is ascending is because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. And I heard Gutfeld yesterday, and he's like, you know what I hear now? I'm just hearing blah, blah, blah. I did a meme this morning, and I said, when I hear of conservatives, when I hear Nazi, 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 you know what I hear? Blah, blah, blah. I'm done taking them seriously. And I thought, by the way, you must admit that Trump's move in Minnesota was a friggin' brilliant move. He defused the situation. He defused the rage machine by pulling out ICE, and they're still getting the stuff accomplished.
Well, Tom Holman, the way he conducted that press conference, the way that he de-escalated it all. Yeah. Listen, that stupid mayor there, Fry. You can't say that you're not gonna arrest illegals. But when you look at what Gavin Newsom has done to California, and the way that he props himself around, I'm embarrassed at the fact that Americans could even from a Democratic standpoint look at Gavin Newsom as a viable politician.
I know. He's not. Dude, he's already over. He's done. He's done. By the way, Jacob Fry is the Justin Trudeau of America. I think if they decided to be, gay, they would be the perfect couple for one another.
Yeah, but what are you going to do when the shutdown happens? Now we're talking about the Democrats talking about shutting down because they don't want to fund it. Yeah. So are you guys going to go through a shutdown for another 4 or 5 weeks?
It's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. It backfired the last time. It backfired. Did you see what happened? They slowed they slowed the GDP growth in the fourth quarter to 5.5%.
And you know what? None of the Democrat outlets could say that what Donald Trump has done to the economy and what's coming around the corner is going to fundamentally blow them out of the water.
I know it is. I know it is, brother.
I just hope. Yeah. I hope that they don't screw this up because the midterms are in November. They've got a lot of time.
Yep.
Keep telling America what's going good and what's getting better.
It's going to happen, brother. Here's Michael. The good news is going to be so overwhelming they can't cover it up like these child savings accounts, which is basically making Social Security obsolete. It's been a joke from day one. My generation doesn't depend on it, and what it does is amazing. One other thing I want to mention here: Denmark lauds constructive talks with U.S. over Greenland. Now we're back on track. Did you hear about that? The Danish Prime Minister is like very constructive. It looks like we've made some, and look what he did with that. We didn't even need to invade Greenland and take it away from or buy it from him. It's pretty amazing.
Oh, but he was brilliant in the way that he did that.
I know, man.
It's like if I want to sell a car for $10,000, I list it for $15,000.
Yes.
The guy talks me down. Yes. If I get $12,000, I won. Yes. Donald Trump walks in, DEFCON 5. We're going to take it over. We're going to explode it. Everybody gets all upset. And look at where we're at now.
I know.
Everybody starts to be interested. He's brilliant, and people hate that because he's a little bombastic and he's a little me. But he gets the job done in the end. That's what people hate about.
This is why I moved here, Michael. This is why I moved here, because I want to witness history. It's going to be amazing. It really is going to be amazing. By the way, we are hinting at the possibility of a listener excursion, the 250th year of America, maybe here in D.C. with me. You should come down.
I'd love to.
Okay,
I want to come and see you. And I've got to make Canadian bacon for you so you can really feel what real back bacon tastes like.
Well, that just sounded kind of kinky. Anyway, and you know what's really amazing? Down here in the States, you don't need to drill a hole in the ice to fish. It's crazy.
What? I was talking to these people. Oh, here's something else. I want to tell you this real quick.
Real quick.
The amount of people that were from Costa Rica, from Nicaragua, from Venezuela, and alike, all Spanish-speaking, to the single person, I love to talk politics,
yes.
To the single person, they said what Donald Trump did with Maduro was the best thing that ever could have happened for their country.
I know, brother. 100%. Michael, great to talk to you, bro. Where can people find you on social media and your show?
TheCharbonReport.com, or you can see me on YouTube, and I'm generally on Newsmax every Sunday in the afternoon. Rob Carson, thanks for the opportunity. Appreciate you and your listeners.
You bet, brother. Let's take a break and come back. This is The Rob Carson Show.
Are you nearly maxed out on your credit cards?
All right.
Or if you're using your
streamers. All right. Love walleye. Walleye's freaking phenomenal. Walleye is spectacular. And yeah, I'm going to be using the indoor smoker. Follow my social media later. The Missouri River has walleye. Where? In Minneapolis? Where the hell does the Missouri River have walleye? You're out of your mind. There's nothing south of Minnesota that has walleye. You're not going to get walleye. You're going to get catfish out of the Missouri River. The Missouri River is a mud pit. I don't know what you're thinking about. Pharaoh salmon have migrated with the wild. What? I don't know what you're talking about. You're talking about fish. Okay, I love fish. I'm smoking salmon in my indoor smoker later. Follow me on social media. We're going to start doing some stuff. Hi, Mickey Hastings. What up? Hi, Deplorabella. Deplorable Dinosaur. Good to see you. America Marcy. How you guys? What are we talking about? I'm trying to catch up with your frenetic conversation. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Sometimes it's too late. Sometimes I just got to let it go. Round-Up Pony is in Pierre, South Dakota. Not Pierre, it's Pierre, South Dakota. I need to get back to the Black Hills. I had such a good time up there. I went to Deadwood. Is it Deadwood? And I went to the casino. There's this casino. It's like a Chinese casino, and they have free hot dogs. It's just cool. I loved it. Loved it. It's so pretty up there, man. It's beautiful. And I took Buck, my Bronco, up, went up a hill up there. The tallest point in South Dakota was like 6,500 feet. And I parked within about 300 feet of the top and then walked up the rest. So there's a go. Let's see. All right. I got to get back and talk here. Here we go. I got something fun planned here.
About 320 here.
Gold is at. Are you ready? I mean, this is unbelievable. $5,350. Gold is at $5,350 today. Unbelievable. Silver's at 114. I never thought I'd say that gold. Listen, I've always thought about gold. Gold, whatever. Like I told you, Dave Ramsey, he says it's a snuggie of investment. It's not a snuggie anymore. It's real. It's gigantic. It's $5,300. $5,400. Could be $56 by tomorrow. Newsmax was saying $56. Get some before it becomes unaffordable. Get some. Words to live by. Not in my case. Anyway, here you go. Text my name, Rob, to 9898 for 98 for Birch Gold. 989898. It's very easy to do. They've been so blasted busy. I talked to the Newsmax, or not the Newsmax, the Birch Gold representative earlier today, and they just are on the phone all day. People buying gold right now because it is the hottest commodity. It's the hottest commodity out there. It is the hottest commodity out there. Gold is. There's no doubt about it. And right now, if you're a first-time gold buyer until tomorrow, text my name, Rob, to 989898. Do that. you're eligible up to $10,000 in a rebate, but it's only until tomorrow. That's it. That's all. That's that. So get on it. This is your last opportunity to do that. If you would, text my name, Rob, to 989898 for Birch Gold, You guys hear about this woman the other day, this Somali woman? She said she was called the N-word and she was assaulted and all that in custody up there, and she said this.
To me, being Somali isn't just eating bananas with rice. It's a lot. It's like it's an interesting thing. It's like a cultural fusion. It's kind of like the bananas and rice.
There you go. Her name is Nazra Ahmed, and she has been arrested for attacking ICE, by the way. She's in custody right now, and South Park has already done a bit about her.
I was basically raised on bananas and rice, okay, in a Somali daycare, which was very formative, and people don't get that that's like culture and nutrition. So when I speak from...
In light of recent conversations, we are proposing a pilot program to transition public school lunches to bananas and rice.
Huh? Wait, what?
This is about inclusion. Yeah. This is about listening, and frankly, the people are demanding like bananas and rice.
Yes.
Excited to announce new product, bananas and rice, available at select Walmarts nationwide.
Uh-oh. What happened to the bananas and rice?
All empty. Every single one.
No way. This can't be real.
Bananas and rice, gone.
Guys, you're seeing this like there's nothing, just cardboard.
Look, this internet guy is simply wrong. We have strict oversight.
Yeah, they got bananas and rice and then disappeared from the warehouse. That's South Park already making fun of Somalians and bananas and rice. I'll stick to my Count Chocula, thank you very much. Let's take a break and come back. Last hour of the Rob Carson Show. Gordon Chang joins us, among other things. Don't go anywhere.
now.
You are about to hear the most interesting, informative, thought-provoking, and funny show in America. On air and on the World Wide Web. This is the Rob Carson Show.
This is the Rob Carson Show. How about some conservative comedy?
I know you might not be able to tell from looking at me, but I am also a political refugee. I escaped from the People's Republic of New York.
And Wexler.
Think we have some New Yorkers in here? Woo! Yeah, you know that gay Muslim they're all obsessed with up there? Barack Obama.
Oh, hello. That's funny. You see, it's funny. It's funny because that's comedy. Conservative comedy is on the ascent because the left can't be taken seriously anymore. It's good to see you being able to make money and make fun of people like Barack Obama now. Because otherwise, before you were destroyed. You were absolutely destroyed. People couldn't be comedians and whatnot. Rob Schneider is kicking butt right now. It is wonderful. And listen, I've been writing conservative comedy for a very long time. And it's just kind of nice to see it blossoming. Because one of the things that we have an advantage of is that it's true. We have truth involved in our comedy. That's the way it is. One of the big stories of the day, the Democrats are freaking out because I'll just say this real quick. 2020. We've not been able to talk about it. We've been shut down. We've been threatened. Some news organizations have been sued for hundreds of millions of dollars because they dared to even cover the story. It's weird. But one of the reasons why we voted for Donald Trump, and one of the reasons why we knew that the day after the election in 2020, Donald Trump was going to be the president again, was because we said that election was absolute bullcrap. And so, finally, the FBI went into Fulton County, Georgia, the county where they were going to prepare to, thanks to this idiot that they hired to go after Donald Trump, Fonnie Willis, and they were going to put Donald Trump in jail the rest of his life.
FBI agents spent the afternoon inside the records warehouse for the Fulton County, Georgia Board of Elections. The matter is sealed before a court, meaning details are limited, but we can report this is related to the 2020 presidential election.
Just let it go. There's nothing to say. Why are you still bringing this up?
Sources tell Fox News that agents retrieved documents, phones, and computers after a judge signed a warrant. President Trump has long made Georgia...
Here's why it's still a story. I'm just going to share a little audio, a little flashback from 2020.
A water pipe has broken in State Farm Arena. State Farm Arena is where they were counting the absentee ballots of Georgia's most populous county. And now the tabulation has stopped.
It's Allegheny, which is Pittsburgh, but also Beaver, part of our county to county, Butler and Westmoreland. They've all stopped counting for the night. They've gone to bed. They begin the process at 10 o'clock.
This would never happen before. It had happened in all the battleground states, but there was nothing to see there. It was a water pipe burst. It wasn't a water pipe burst. That actually disappeared the very next day. Everybody knew it was a lie.
Tomorrow morning.
Good morning, Heather. They did have to press pause overnight. They will be back in a few short hours. Expected to resume counting around 8:30.
It's never happened before.
Fulton County is now going to stop counting at 10:30 p.m.
That's Fox News. They lost their journalistic curiosity the day after that election.
And will resume their count at tomorrow morning.
They basically stopped counting tonight. They're going to start counting again.
Well, nothing to see here. Why would you even care? Why would you even care? It's 6 years later.
What did they have to hide? It's amazing that 2020 was an anomaly, and Democrats squeaked by Joe Biden, who couldn't get out of his home and couldn't fill his COVID circles in 2020, somehow squeaked by in Georgia. And, now they don't want to turn over the evidence, and they say, it's voter intimidation. How the hell is it voter intimidation
if it was on the up and up, why don't you want to open those books, say, hey, man, we want to get this cleared up. We want to get this cleared up.
Turn over ballots from 2020 that aren't tied to the voters. They are decoupled from the voter registration, so you wouldn't know how these people voted anyway. They just want to look at the ballots. It's obvious that the Democrats are hiding this because they have something to hide. They know that the 2020 election was rigged and stolen.
That is misinformation or something. That is, you can't say that. That should be censored. You can't have an opinion on that. Don't you know that by now? This is Mo Ivory. She's a county commissioner in Fulton County, and for some reason, she's upset about this.
Fulton County is right now the target, the only county right now fighting over an election that already happened.
Yeah, let it go.
But
so he died. He was murdered 6 years ago. Let it go.
It is coming to a place near you. This is the beginning of the chaos of 2026 that is about to ensue.
Wow. And listen to this county commissioner from Fulton County. You can tell she's kind of nervous because she's talking real fast.
Hi, everybody. Listen, I know you're watching the news. You're seeing a lot of stuff about this FBI raid at the Fulton County elections and registrations. I'm on the inside right now. So I just want you to be real discerning about all that you're hearing from people who are on the outside of what's going on. I'm going to give you the
Don't listen to anybody else. Just listen to me.
About what's happening. So they served a warrant, the FBI. This is Trump serving a warrant to go pick up the 2020 ballots, which are in a secure location inside of here, 700 boxes.
I know,
the first warrant that they gave was incorrect legally, like they didn't follow the right procedure. They went back and they fixed it, and they came.
She sounds a little nervous.
Back, and now they are actually collecting the boxes. They are in the chain of command in Fulton County.
Is this racist?
That once they are archived, they become the possession of the clerk of Superior Court, which is Shay Alexander. She is here, and she is with them inventorying everything.
Take a breath, girl.
Everything that they're taking. We, the commissioners, the chairman, the county attorney, are trying to figure out a legal plan as to maybe an injunction, a motion to quash. We don't know yet. We're trying to figure it out. We're getting all kinds of legal advice.
My God, she's talking even faster. She sounds like she's a little nervous. That is just crazy. That is crazy. Here's Steve Bannon. Steve Bannon, he went to jail because of the Biden administration, because he was held in contempt of Congress, and he was a political prisoner.
Are not ever going to allow you to steal another election.
Steve, you can't say that. It's disinformation, misinformation.
Ever.
Malinformation or something.
We're going to set things right on 2020.
Can't say that.
We're going to hold accountable and make criminal charges about the people that stole the 2020 election.
You're a racist.
And in this case, it'll be in Georgia, but it's going to be many other places
Hitler.
too.
Hitler.
In Minnesota, in Minneapolis, we'll make sure we're going to get the voter rolls. You're not going to have illegal alien invaders vote anymore. The way that keeps you in office.
Yeah, because the Democrats haven't had to win an election in a very long time. They can't. This is why they're lost right now. This is why they're caterwauling. They don't know anything. They don't know what the American people want. They didn't learn anything for 2024. They're going to stick with their nonsense, their bullcrap. In states like Virginia, they just lie about their platform and then get into office and spring it on everybody, like this crazy cat lady, Abigail Spamberger. Crazy cat lady, just lied, ran as a moderate, is a communist. It ain't going to stand. It has to be legally challenged. It's ridiculous. Tommy Tuberville, he was talking to Benny Johnson about the elections, why it's important that we make sure from here on out they can't be stolen anymore.
We will not win any more elections in terms of majorities if we don't pass the SAVE Act, because they bring in all these illegals, and they're going to try to get as many of them to vote as they can.
Yep.
Then they have all these voting machines that are all crooked.
There's no voter fraud.
Out of Venezuela, by the way. They have a system that they can win elections. We probably have a dozen or so people up here in the House and the Senate that were elected illegally. They shouldn't be here.
What?
Because things were crooked in the elections. Just look at Nevada and Arizona and all these.
Oh, you mean like in the midterms when Maricopa County, 65% of the voting machines stopped working that day, and Republican voters were turned away, and Kerry Lake ended up losing the governorship? Are you saying something like that?
Places that it's been proven, but nobody does
nothing to see here.
Anything about it. But I'll go back to the money that is being stolen. If you go back to the first 6 months I was here back in 2000.
Listen to this. This is something I've been saying.
The Democrats had the majority, House, Senate, and the White House, and they did this first, CARES Act. We need money for COVID. $2 trillion. Well, what'd they do with that money? They sent it to all the blue states to pay off their debts because they had stolen so much money they could not function. And we're talking about 30-40 billion for California, 30-40 billion for New York. Same thing for Chicago, the cities. I mean, it is a disaster, folks. You are being stolen blind.
Yep, 100%. 100%. Let's do a little flashback. Fani Willis tried to put Donald Trump in prison. Her case fell apart because she's an idiot, and she's corrupt, and she was she was, having an affair with Nathan Wade, and he didn't wade. He was knee-deep in it, man. He was knee-deep in it. And she got all sorts of nervous and stuff when she was exposed.
I'm the best DA in the Southeast. Why wouldn't I be proud of my work? I noticed that you didn't bring any diversity here when you brought witnesses. You brought all Republican, Caucasian people to come and to tell you about my work. I don't need daddy to tell me how to do my work. I know how to do my work. Yeah. What I can tell you is that I allowed Mr. Wade to build a...
She's going to be in hot agua, too. I want to do a little flashback because, Jim Gossett and I have been writing a lot of satire, and this is from the greatest hits. Fonnie Willis, a little flashback as the FBI raids Fulton County, Georgia, about Fonnie.
Fannie Willis is a crook.
Or Fannie, whatever you want to call her.
All the money that she took. Hired her boyfriend, he was unqualified.
Yeah.
Then lied about it when she testified. 700 grand he made.
He made a lot of money.
Fannie made sure he got paid.
Well, he certainly paid for it, that's for sure.
No experience, but still got hired.
$700,000 for that?
They should be disbarred.
Can you do $1 million?
As well as fired, oh Fannie.
All right, whatever.
You paid Nathan Wade, he's your lover. They should put you away, oh Fannie. And you gave him a job just for cover. They should jail you today, oh Fannie.
What you talking about, Willis?
Oh Fannie, you used federal funds for your pleasure.
Yes, you did.
And you won't get away, oh Fannie. Your conviction is something we'll
There you go. That is Jim Gossett, a satire, piece of satire from a couple years ago. I wanted to share it on this great day as the FBI raided the ballots in Fulton County. We've been waiting. This is what we've been waiting for. Let's take a break and come back, shall we? This is the Rob Carson Show.
County.
Got a rejoin?
Dig it.
The media and our friends in the Democrat Party kept saying we needed new legislation. We must have legislation to secure the border. But it turned out that all we really needed was a new president.
Allison James. Jim Bones. I think we need to hear our Cabinet Super Friends theme song.
In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 4 greatest heroes.
Marco Rubio.
Created from the cosmic legends of the universe.
Scott Bessent. Kristi Noem.
Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind.
That's just real quick for you millennials, that's a Gen X cartoon from Saturday mornings when you could only watch cartoons on Saturday mornings. They were special. But anyway, there is a cabinet meeting going on right. They're always good. Here's the president talking about the length of the last one. Now, the last one went on for like 3 hours, and the president was nodding off because he works 19, 20-hour days, as opposed to Joe Biden, who would, put a lid on it at 10 a.m. and make a poopy in his pants. But he kind of nodded off a little bit, and he wanted to clear that up today.
We are going to ask a couple of people to say a few words, and we're not going to go through the whole table because the last time we had a press conference, it lasted for 3 hours, and some people said he closed his eyes. Look, it got pretty boring. I love these people.
What?
I love these people. But there's a lot of people. It was a little bit on the boring side. But I didn't sleep. I just closed them because I wanted to get the hell out of here. Some of them, I didn't sleep, by the way. I don't sleep much.
No.
But it's funny. Some of them got me in a blink. When you go like. And they took me as at the closed segment of my cycle. And they said he's sleeping. And besides that, Marco, between these two guys, if I was sleeping, they'd be waking me up very fast. They'd be knocking me. Come on.
I got to tell you, I love this. I just love this. And again, the reason why I moved here is to witness history, and we're never going to have anything like this again. We're never going to have a president like this again. There's never going to be another moment like this. That is phenomenal. I mean, phenomenal. And the Democrats continue your death spiral into hell. You look like idiots. You look like complete morons. Kristi Noem dropping a massive. Nope, that's old. I'm not going to play that. Never mind. I was going to play a Kristi Noem soundbite, but I just realized that's not today. So we won't do that. But anyway, we got a cabinet meeting going on today, and they're always a lot of fun. They're always very entertaining. And also, by the way, a lot of times with the left. Because they're actually, and I told you the meeting, then you've had the accomplishment. I went to some meetings with Chris Ruddy at Newsmax when I was brought on WABC Radio. And so it's kind of interesting. You get in there in a Chris Ruddy meeting, and it's, what have you done? What do you got? What have you done? What have you got? What have you done? What have you got? Dozen people, you're out of there in 15 minutes. That's it. What have you done? What do you got? What have you done? What do you got? What do you got? What do you got? Break. Bye. With academics, I don't know, maybe we could consider an itemization of the security, of the social security, and the possibility of an infrastructure, blah, 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 blah. And nothing happens. Nothing ever happens. Nothing. Donald Trump just revolutionized Social Security for Gen what? What's Gen Z and what's next? Is it Gen Alpha? Is it Gen Alpha? I think it's Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha. You're going to be able to, July the 4th, put $1,000 into kids' savings from the government, and then maybe your employer can do it. And by the time your kid's 30 years old, you play your cards right, could have $1 million in the bank. Pay cash for a house. It's going to be amazing. Donald Trump did that. Joe Biden sat there and did nothing for 50 years. In the Senate, by the way. Not a damn thing. Speaking of Newsmax, millions are tuning into Newsmax. You know why? Because Newsmax kicks butt. It's amazing. You watch Carl Higbie? Carl Higbie is amazing. Truth teller. There's nobody like him on TV. Oh, my God. The guy can bench press 4 plates like 10 times. It's amazing. Rob Finnerty, spectacular. I've known Rob Finnerty since he went to he lived in Kansas City, and then he got called up to the bigs in New York City. Now he's amazing. He does these brilliant monologues with aplomb and humor and a little wink and a nod. You got Rob Schmidt. He's just rock star. He's a rock star, and he's got a bedside manner. You just want to listen to him talk. It's amazing. Greta Van Sustren's over there. Greg Kelly is nobody like Greg Kelly on television. Find out why Newsmax is the fastest growing news channel in America. There are a lot of other little ones out there. They do not connect like Newsmax does, and I'm proud to be a part of it. Get Newsmax on cable streaming. Download the free app. Get a Newsmax Plus membership. That's what I have. I listen to it in my Bronco Buck. It's kind of cool. Democrats are willing to say that anything that Donald Trump does is bad. If Donald Trump cured cancer, they say, what did cancer ever do to you? Yesterday, Tammy Duckworth went after Marco Rubio about getting rid of Maduro in Venezuela, one of the greatest moves in the history of Latin America. Latin Americans, Hispanics going, thank you for doing this. And here she is going after Rubio and looking like an idiot.
Anyone who believes that gangs that flood our country with fentanyl or cocaine are not threats to the United States is not living in reality and certainly does not reflect the opinion of most Americans. But what the president was talking about are these gangs and these narco trafficking groups that are waging war on the United States. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
These groups have waged war on
those boat captain narco terrorists are just fishermen.
The United States. They have waged, for example, Train de Agua is not just a criminal gang presence in our street. It is a criminal gang directly responsible
for Maryland dad.
The Trump administration has acknowledged that the vast majority of the men it rounded up and deported to torture under this law had
There's no torture, you moron.
Criminal records whatsoever.
You made that up.
We didn't torture
Independent, over 75%.
Who did we torture? We haven't tortured anybody. We've arrested people that are members of gangs and we've deported them. We don't want gang members in our...
Listening to your voice, Duckworth, is torture.
Have found that many of the men were here legally.
Hearing you talk. Torture.
Will you advise the president to rescind his invocation of the wartime alien enemies
No, of course
act?
not. I mean, these are people that are threats to the national security of the United States. But I've described this in hearings in the past, including
So you're
you guys.
saying that we're at war?
We are absolutely. When it comes to narco trafficking groups and criminal gangs that are targeting the United States for criminal
We're in a state of war.
There's no doubt about the fact that we're confronting them
we
in
are.
a war like that because they're waging
we're definitely in the war, and guess what? We kind of kicked their butts. There you go. And now Venezuelans in the get-along gang. And now people are celebrating. Michael Charbon was talking about being in the Dominican Republic, meeting all these people from Venezuela and other Central and South American countries going, thank you, thank God for Donald Trump. And freedom is spreading down there. And Tammy Duckworth, you just look well, you are an idiot, so it does make sense that you look like an idiot. Because, yeah, you know what I just said. Gordon Chang joins us next to talk about China, among other things. Don't go anywhere.
Hello, my name is Brian Delatry, and I started taking Relief Factor just about a year ago. I was having chronic knee pain over time. It just got worse and worse. Just walking downstairs was painful. Well, since I've taken Relief Factor, the results have been just amazing. I actually walk 4 miles a day, 5 to 6 days a week. No pain at all going downstairs. Very active playing golf, and it's been really just unbelievable in the change I've had in the pain in my knee. Hope that someone who's experienced the same type of pain gives Relief Factor a try. And I guarantee if you get the results that I have, you'll be very happy. I'm going to continue using the product because I am now pain-free.
Don't wait. If you're dealing with daily pain, launch your 3-week quick start and see what Relief Factor can do for you. Go to relieffactor.com. How will it feel to be out of pain? p.m.
Between now and the end of the century, China will lose probably 2/3 to 3/4 of its population. So it reports 1.4 billion now. It'll probably be somewhere in the neighborhood of 450 million. No country has ever undergone a demographic collapse like this. Not even Europe during the Black Death.
Wow.
So really what we're talking about is something nobody has ever seen before. And I don't think China can remain a great power when its population falls apart.
Gordon, always great to see you, my friend. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. That's Gordon Chang, because I see Gordon Chang everywhere. My gosh, I can't escape the guy, but I love it. I love it. I've been dying to talk to him about this, among other things. Gordon Chang at Gordon G. Chang on Twitter joins us on the Newsmax hotline. How are you on this glorious Thursday, sir?
I am fine on this glorious Thursday, Rob. How are you?
I could not be better. I honestly could not be better. It's a glorious day in Washington, D.C. This is my home now. I love it here. I'm having the time of my life. But I got to tell you, what about all this social engineering that China did? Why isn't their population so great? Remember when they were, taking little girl babies and abandoning them beside the road to die so that the male babies would live? Wasn't that going to take care of everything?
Well, it certainly didn't, because what it did was, first of all, it indoctrinated the Chinese people, so they now think that one child is all that they should have. But also, though, the Chinese people right now are gloomy because the economy is trending downward, and there's all sorts of problems in society. Plus, also, as any society matures, it becomes less fertile. So you have all these things hitting at the same time, and that means that China is going to suffer that demographic collapse that is unprecedented.
Well, haven't they also been lying about their population? That's right. They got all these phantom cities they built. Remember that? They got all those phantom cities with empty malls and empty storefronts and all of this. And it turns out that, but what have you heard about China's real population? We heard 1.3 billion and all this. Apparently, that's not the case.
Yeah, they report 1.4, and there are a number of people, including a Chinese demographer, Yi Fuxin, at the University of Wisconsin, who believes it's maybe 100 million less, maybe more.
Yes.
And by the way, Yi actually predicts that China will be somewhere in the neighborhood of 330 million at the end of the century. Of course, nobody knows. That's the lower end of the range.
Wow.
But by the way, his estimate, which he's worked out, assumes that China is able to maintain a total fertility rate of about 0.9. And it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do that.
That is pretty remarkable. That's pretty remarkable. And I saw you tweeting this morning about how Xi Jinping is systematically destroying the country. And you wrote a book, The Coming Collapse of China, and all of this. And it sounds like it's really beginning to be precipitated, and the ball's starting to kind of speed up a little bit.
Well, it certainly is. I mean, the motor of China's rise has been its economy. But its economy is stumbling now. It's not growing at the 5.0% pace that they reported for last year. Could be 2.5 to 3, according to one group of analysts that did an important study about a month ago. But it could even be less than that, Rob. We're talking maybe 0, maybe even -1. We just don't know. And I actually think that nobody in China knows either, for a lot of reasons. But the point is, it's not growing fast enough to retire the debt that it's accumulated, especially since 2008.
As Donald Trump has brought in, $18 trillion in, investments and all of this, and something that you remember Barack Obama said, I don't have a magic wand. I can't bring back manufacturing in America and all this. The more that we are beginning to see the Made in America label showing up on more goods, the fewer Chinese goods we're going to need. This is going to get really big and ugly because, for instance, our trade deficit with China has dropped dramatically. Our trade deficit with the entire world has dropped dramatically. This is going to put a major hurt on the Chinese economy.
Yes, because Xi Jinping's only plan is to export more. For various reasons, he's not taking the advice of almost every economist in the world to move to a consumption-based economy, which means that his only hope is to sell more products to other countries. He's selling less to the United States. He's trying to sell more to the global south, as the Chinese call it. But even countries in the global south are starting to resist the flood of Chinese imports. So Xi has got a real problem. He did very well last year, 1.19 trillion of merchandise trade surplus.
Yeah.
But I think that that's high tide.
Yeah, I do too. Also, the president got involved and shut down the serious flirtation that was going on between Mark Carney and Xi Jinping, saying that if you get into a big trade agreement, you get all chummy, flying over to China and everything. We're going to put 100% tariff on your products, and he backed the heck off of that in no time, didn't he?
Yes. Well, President Trump also has another tool, and that is Article 3210 of the USMCA trade agreement. That allows any of the three members of that trade agreement, U.S., China, Mexico, to withdraw from the agreement if any other member enters into a free trade agreement with a non-market country. China is a non-market country, and Carney's trade deal with Beijing may not be quote-unquote a trade deal for purposes of USMCA, but it gets awfully close. And so this agreement anyway is up for renegotiation, and Canada absolutely needs us because we take 76% of China's merchandise exports. 76%, Rob.
Yeah, and I saw that this morning, and also I believe that they were planning on all these cheap EVs going over there to Canada. That's been kind of C-blocked. Doug Ford, I think he's from Ontario. He was all down with it, but apparently the Chinese or the Canadian auto manufacturers were up in arms about it. So it sounds like that's doing a flat line.
Well, this is really interesting because President Biden, one of the better things that he did was he prevented the importation into the U.S. of Chinese EVs because they're connected. They're basically rolling spy machines. Now, Carney has agreed to allow 49,000 Chinese EVs into Canada at a reduced tariff rate of 6.1%. The Trump administration has preliminarily said we're not allowing Canadians to drive those cars into the U.S., and that's a good thing because we don't want the Chinese spying on us through their EVs. We don't allow these cars in directly. We're not going to allow them indirectly driven by Canadians.
Yeah, I want you to listen to this from Scott Besson and John Carl last weekend.
It seems like the same agreement that's been in place since the 50s.
Well, I think you're
talking about the agreement with Greenland.
I haven't seen the full agreement. Secretary General Mark Rutte was a very good interlocutor between the Europeans and between President Trump. But look, a lot of things have changed up in Greenland. Jonathan, do you know what the Istanbul Bridge is?
What is that?
Tell me.
A Chinese freight ship that for the first time in October came across the Arctic into the UK. They're shortening their travel time. So the Arctic is changing.
Now, that is dramatic. Now we understand why Donald Trump considered Greenland to be so bloody important. And this has got to be a major blow to China.
Yeah, with the Arctic ice receding, it allows the Chinese to surge into the Atlantic from the top without going through the choke points of the Panama Canal or Cape Horn at the tip of South America, which is basically stormy seas through a good portion of the year. So this allows the Chinese to end up very close to our ports as the Arctic ice recedes. This is important.
Yeah, it also is obviously great for our, the dome, the Golden Dome over that keeps us much more secure. Gordon Chang, can you hold through the break? I got a couple more questions I ask you on the other side, okay?
Absolutely.
All right, we got Gordon Chang. More from him in just one moment. This is the Rob Carson Show.
by the Smile Design Center and Lorien Health Services.
There we go.
So I just want to thank everybody for being here. My cabinet has been amazing. I like this much better than going around for 3 hours. We'll pick on other ones. Pam, you're doing great. We're all doing great. JD, if you'd like to say something, you can. Would you like to really quickly? He is, after all, the Vice President of the United States.
It's okay, sir. I'm here for the free coffee. I just say it's an honor to serve with this group, and we're doing a lot of good for the American people.
I got to tell you, I have never wanted to watch a cabinet meeting until this administration. Gordon Chang on the Newsmax hotline. Isn't it just kind of fun to watch? Isn't it just kind of fun to watch levity and positivity and believe in America rather than being led by a kindergarten teacher, Jill Biden?
Yeah, well, it certainly is. And President Trump knows how to talk to the American people.
Oh.
That's for sure.
I'll tell you, it's fun. It's fun to watch. I just saw this headline on Newsmax. Cuba is down to 15 to 20 days of oil amid a U.S. blockade. That's going to be really, really big for the collapse of Cuba and the communist party. And same goes with blocking oil from China from Iran, right?
Yes, those are two very important things, because the Castro regime has relied for a very long time on essentially very cheap Venezuelan crude. And with the Venezuelan regime now out of the business of supporting Cuba, you've got now Havana, and I think, on the ropes.
Oh,
That's
God,
not
yes.
to say that it's going to fail, but it is going to say it very well no longer be the threat that it once posed.
Well, look at Cuba. Cuba is a toenail clipping as far as the size of its landmass. It's an easy, and they're blockading without even having to send ships. That's the thing. They're blockading without sending ships.
Yeah, and the important thing here is that lifeline is now over.
Wow.
And also for you mentioned Iran.
Yeah.
President Trump has been talking about cutting off the flow of Iranian sanctioned oil, and most of it, either 80% last year or 90% in 2024, 90% went to China. So China's going to have to.
Have you heard much about China energy prices, gas prices? We never hear about gas prices in China, but they can't be. They got to be going crazy, right?
Not quite yet.
Okay.
But I think that's going to be something that will happen if President Trump cuts off the Iranian crude, because then it's not just Iran; it's also the expectation of what might happen, and that'll affect prices, Rob.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy. And then I saw the other day a story about Elon Musk. I believe it's Texas. They're mining some of these rare earth minerals for EV batteries, and they're doing it in a very environmentally sound fashion that doesn't involve enslaving children from Africa. And that's going to put China on the ropes too. I saw this.
Yes.
Oh, it's amazing what Musk is doing.
Yeah, it's Musk, and it's also a lot of other initiatives that reduce or eliminate our dependence on China for rare earths. So, for instance, you're talking about Texas.
Yeah.
Well, there's a Rice University professor who's talking about recycling. We've got a lot of material, computers and stuff. With all of this stuff, if you recycle it, it really puts China, it cuts our dependence on China substantially.
Well, they're having to recycle silver right now because silver mines are beginning to run dry before they find new ones, and they're starting to recycle that. So certainly these batteries, you've got to find a way to use them again. Keir Starmer tells Xi Jinping that UK wants more sophisticated relationship with China. So we heard Macron in Davos saying they want a friendlier relationship with China. I think Keir Starmer is not long for the country. I think that Nigel Farage is going to be taking over. So I don't think this relationship is going to be very long-lived. What do you think?
One of the things about Starmer is that he is putting his hopes on an economy which is failing.
Yes.
But America is booming. So, Starmer can say anything he wants, but that's not a very smart strategy.
No. It really is. It's just stupid. And it's really funny. I thought Trump's Davos appearance. He owned it. And that Starmer and Macron would decide to side. They failed in so many ways. The UK, the EU, NATO, they failed in so many ways, and they're continuing to double down on stupid. And I think it's going to precipitate the rise of people like Nigel Farage. We've also seen Meloni in Italy. We've seen the rise of Hungary. So it's just a matter of time for Great Britain before they come to their sentences and that things change. I believe that anyway. Gordon, are you still there?
Political correctness in England right now.
Oh.
And that's got to end.
Yeah, it is. It's coming. Gordon, I appreciate you. What part of the country do you live in? Are you part of this ice and snowstorm we had? Were you affected by that at all?
Yeah, we live in New Jersey, Garden State, which is under a little snow right now.
Yeah.
And we're waiting for the next snowstorm.
Yeah.
So,
are you going to get hit by this thing that's going off the Atlantic coast?
Maybe. They say Sunday, but most of it is going to end up in Boston.
All right.
It's Massachusetts' turn now.
Good. Well, Massachusetts and Boston can have it. Gordon, thanks for your time, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks so much, Rob.
All right. Gordon G. Chang on Twitter is his handle, by the way. I hope you enjoy these conversations. It's to me, it is so exciting to be able to discuss these things with people like Gordon Chang. It's like an honor for me. This guy who's a farm guy from Iowa selling cars 6 years ago gets to talk to people like Gordon Chang, and I hope you enjoy it. We try to make it real and talk to them, and I think it's a lot of fun. Whatever. Let's take a break and come back, shall we? This is the Rob Carson Show. Hey guys, it's Carson. Streamers. What we got here? You guys have been quite active today. Cape Cod's going to get hit mostly this nor'easter. Yeah, I've seen them. Is there a bomb cyclone? Bomb cyclone coming? Venezuelan crude hard to refine. I hear there's a high sulfur content in Venezuelan crude. Arctic ice not receding. That's what Tom K says. Yeah, it is. It's okay. Don't freak out. It's a natural cycle. It's okay. Greenland still has a mile of ice on it, and Al Gore said it was going to be gone. So if the temperature's gone up globally a little bit, it doesn't mean they were right about global warming. It's actually a very good thing. So there you go. There is that. Facebook. Let's see who's talking on the Facebook. Sorry, I got off the page here. Hope you're enjoying the show. I'm having a lot of fun today. I'm going to be in all weekend getting my desk put back together, but then we'll have a new look for the show beginning very soon. We're going to have multiple cameras and all sorts of cool stuff happening there. So it's going to look big time. It's going to look really big time. And hopefully very soon we'll have guests in the studio right here on the set. Oh, how cool is that? Hello, Prani Yuprachet. How are you? And Andrew Cordero, what's going on? Chris Schwab, Looney Tunes, all you guys, are you having fun? I'm pain-free too. I'm single, Andrew Cordero. I had a good friend, I was her first love in the early 90s, and she called me yesterday, and we caught up after many years. And I told her she had some pain in the joints, and I said, turmeric, baby, turmeric, and Relief Factor. I use it. I'm not kidding. Look. No noise. It's amazing. All right, I got to talk.
CBM. About 4 minutes here.
Okay. It is the Rob Carson Show. Trying to figure out what I want to talk about here because, there's so much to talk about. Where's gold right now? I'm just checking. $5,300. There you go, $5,300. 989898 for Birch Gold. They're saying, Newsmax was saying $5,600 earlier today. So who the heck knows what's going to happen? It's pretty crazy. Stephen Colbert is at at the end of his deal. He's going to be no longer a host on late night. He has ruined late night television. He and Jimmy Kimmel have destroyed late night television. And here is Stephen Colbert last night. And once again, there's no reason to say there's no funny about it. It's just being a jerk.
I think we can all agree, guys.
There you go.
Now,
then, of course, he's got his well-fluffed audience in front of him and all of that, and everybody's screaming and yelling. Nobody else feels that way, by the way. It's just his audience, his elitist audience. It's kind of like the cabal of liberals who live in Washington, D.C. They sit around and they politely applaud. Oh, yeah, but nobody else cares. Nobody else cares. Here he is talking to another very little-watched late-night TV host, Seth Meyers, about the possibility. Are you ready? Here's a guy who, on a nightly basis, listen, on a nightly basis, in a country of 330 to 350 million people, averages 256,000 adults 25 to 54 years old. That means like a couple thousand in New York City, a couple thousand in a city of millions of people, a couple thousand in L.A., a couple thousand in Des Moines. I mean, it's really bad. It is really, really bad. But here he is talking about running for president.
You might run for office, maybe even president. I've heard that one. Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Obviously, I mean, that's something I have discussed with my faith leader and my family.
Yeah.
And if there is some way for me to serve the American people in some way that could possibly be greater than a late-night television show.
You are not popular enough to do anything like that, and you're not knowledgeable enough, and you don't have any common sense, so there's that. There is that. So, here you go. This is kind of interesting. Unhinged Virginia nurse who encouraged colleagues to inject ICE agents with paralytic drug is swiftly fired. Melinda Cook, nurse anesthesia. Yeah, she puts people to sleep. Kind of like Nancy Pelosi. Virginia Commonwealth University Health was fired by the hospital Tuesday. She spewed disturbing remarks in the spate of the TikTok videos. Cook was identified by local media. She suggested sabotaging tactics like doing this. Fill syringes with succinylchlorine, whatever it takes, and stick ICE agents with it. She also suggested taking poison oak and putting it into a solution and spraying it at ICE agents. Okay, she's destroyed her career. How insane do you have to be to not only think of this, to think of injuring people as an anesthetician or with this, but let alone put it on social media? This is why the left is losing. This is why they are losing. Nobody on the right is doing something so evil. What we do is we pray for people. We pray for people. People on the left do this. And if you put it on social media, you've lost touch with reality and sanity. That's it. That's why the Democrat Party is doing a death spiral into hell. Told ya. It's time for me to go. I think we had fun, didn't we? Yeah. Check out the podcast, will you? Go to all your usual podcast platforms, subscribe, and share with other people. Tomorrow, The Unusual Suspects, and, of course, an awesome Friday show, God Bless America, as founded. Donald Trump and his awesome presidency. And until tomorrow, don't catch the stupid. God bless you, too. See you then.
All right, Rob, I'll talk to you tomorrow. Have a good night.
Information. Truth is freedom. Is Newsmax. It's real news for real people.